104.1 KRBE. It's the Roula and Ryan show.
Oh, man.
I'm
People really know
nervous.
our show so well.
I'm
They really
nervous
know our
about what
show.
Roula made some statement before we played the song.
That Ryan and Eric have been scared of this item for years, and now, apparently, according to today's news, it's the biggest flex.
And
we've even joked one of y'all had have this.
I saw this. I gave it to Special K
Okay.
to do a dig on someone.
And people on
What is
text
this item?
already have guessed what it is.
Yep.
The longtime Roula and Ryan show listeners have guessed what it is.
Because one of these people already have it, I thought.
What is it?
A toupee!
Ryan's toupee.
You
We
do
always
not have
talk
a
about.
toupee, you.
They don't call it a toupee anymore. Don't they call it a hair system?
Yeah, is that
Well,
what they call it? A hair system?
Toupees are back in a big way, says the headline. The New York Post did a write-up on how hyper-realistic ones are the hottest new flex. They've gotten so much better since their heyday in the 80s. The good ones use real hair that's stitched into a piece of polyester thin enough to sweat through. They glue it to your scalp, and they give you the exact haircut you want. You can shower in it. You can go 6 months before it has to get reapplied.
Houston, Texas, though.
Before it outgrows.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hot
So
outside.
what's your hair? I guess you need that if you're bald.
Yeah, it's cheaper
Because
than
if
a
you
hair
have hair, the hair would push it
transplant.
up, right?
The one that
They
y'all
shave
put on
it.
me.
Yeah, when
my,
we shaved your head bald.
Your hair grew back.
Yeah, well, my hair started to push through it, and then that lifted the cap. It's kind of like a little cap thingy
It feels
up
hot.
off of your head. It didn't feel hot. It just felt weird, like I was wearing a hat all the time.
Oh, that would be uncomfortable.
and
God,
and the
I'm
glue.
itching. I'm scratching just thinking about what that must have felt
what did the
like.
glue
The
feel like?
glue was more like strips that they put across my head. I don't think it was like,
For
you know,
those
they.
that missed this, we did it live in the studio. Like right where Kevin is sitting a little bit further in the corner is where she applied it. We watched her apply this on him.
They brought in my husband who cuts hair professionally, or he did at the time, and it pained him to do so, but he gave me the horseshoe because I lost a bet. Of course,
You
we're
lost the
always
bet, so
losing
you
bets.
just shaved the head on the
So they
hair
tr-
on the top of the head.
They
but left the
horseshoed me,
sides.
and I had to do a day of horseshoe, okay, out in public. And then I came in the next day, and they bought me a hair system.
The lady came in with the hair system.
Yeah, a full hair system. It was very good. It was very realistic looking. But I guess if you don't have any hair pushing it up,
Then
maybe
it
it would
work.
hold better. But
It
mine
says-
didn't last for
It
very
says
long.
in the story, guys, that these toupees are meant to last every year or two. They do cost thousands of dollars, but it is still cheaper than an entire hair transplant
But I see,
system.
like-
if you're, it's a growing movement to normalize.
When I see
toupees.
Bradley Cooper, Roula, and I see Steve Carell now, and they have that straight line. That's what I want. Like that straight line across, like the hair plug thing.
I'm gonna have to look
So
this up.
what
But
they-
does it
Google.
Steve
Google.
Carell, if you look at
the
the
hair
early
plugs work,
season-
or is that just like because L.A. I don't know.
Oh, they're also very wealthy
hear
people. They're wealthy
plugs don't
people too.
work.
So look at the first season of The Office. Steve Carell was clearly losing his hair, and I think it was in season 2, towards the end of the season. All of a sudden, I'm like, wait, where did that hairline come
I'm like,
from?
I'd do it. I'd be like, hey, put a camera there. Irving, come on in. We'd do the whole thing.
Same thing with Matthew
I just don't know how it
McConaughey.
works though. It looks like it's painful.
Yeah, they take a strip out of the back of your neck hair, well, kind of like right
Back of
above
your
your
head?
neck, and they take that out, and then they pluck little pieces out and put them back in. When
So it is your
where they
hair
need-
then?
Yeah, it's really your hair. And put it back
Yeah,
in.
we have learned that.
But the thing is, it's just like everywhere I go, whenever I see somebody wearing a rug, I know he's wearing a rug. Like I
That's a
go to
very
the
80s term
There's
for
this
it.
one
Retro
restaurant I
term.
go to,
Oh,
and I see this guy in there all the time.
Well, he's
and
probably wearing like an
he
old.
looks-
He's probably like 80 years old.
No, he's not. He's probably 40, but he looks like he's wearing a raccoon on his head. I mean, it just looks ridiculous.
Oh my God, this is so
it
crazy.
could just be his hair.
There are some
Oh,
people
it's
who have
definitely
really,
not his hair.
There are people online who've done such a deep dive on people's hairlines. The Steve Carell one is like, it's some clinic that says, we don't have actual proof or confirmation from Steve Carell, but Steve Carell's hair timeline. They have all these pictures with arrows to like how this piece over here is a little emptier than over here, and then now there's a straight line. And his work in the morning show is the straight line Eric's talking about. Like
Yeah.
his hair looks filler there, and
Look
Yeah.
at Sylvester Stallone. You watched Tulsa King, didn't you,
There's no
Eric?
way a guy can be like Stallone over 60 and his hair's perfect straight
He's
line.
78.
what about
And if you look at pictures of him, like from movies, I think the last movie they said he did before he got a rug was Copland
rug.
back in the 90s.
with the rug that
or whatever it
90s
is,
term.
the hair replacement system.
there is a soccer player named Rob Holding. Does anybody know him? Rob Holding.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Soccer player named Rob Holding. There's a picture of him,
Oh, he
and
went
he
from
had
nothing.
like what's the guy's name from the suit?
Kinda looks
the
like
tall
Caillou.
guy. He was in Community.
This guy.
He was in Community. Who's the tall guy from Community? Guys?
Oh, Joel
Oh,
McHale. He
Joel
definitely did
McHale,
something.
when he first showed up on the scene, he had a lot of thinner hair on top. Now he's got some thicker hair. It's less than what Joel McHale had, but now this guy's got such thick hair he can pull it back with a headband like David Beckham.
Oh, you know who else?
He's got to grow a goatee.
Machine Gun Kelly. Look at early pictures of him, and he was really balding, and now he's got a thick head of hair.
And here's the hard thing. You're not supposed to shame anybody for that because I always feel like the hair on men is equivalent to the body shape for a woman. Like, you're not going to sit there and say, oh, look at her thighs. Clearly, in her first movie, they were much smaller than they are now. You know, the hair thing for men is so sensitive. And a lot of these actors, I'm sure their agents, their movie companies, their managers tell them, okay, it looks kind of thin. We're going to get on top of that before you actually start losing it so people don't remember that you ever had thin hair.
Like I see my cousin, because my cousin's got the horseshoe hair Kevin was talking about. Like boomerang hair thing.
Around their head, but
and he
nothing
plays
on top.
He's in a band called the Frank Mustard Project in Austin. They're
Frank
great
Mustard.
performer, but I'm like, when he takes that hat off, like one of those pompadour type things, it's like, boom, bald. And he's 3 years younger than me.
Boom, bald.
I'm like, thank God I took Propecia.
Well, think about all the country stars, like Kenny Chesney. I mean, when he took his hat off,
You
like,
just
what?
love to go after Kenny
Yeah, you always
Chesney. For
attack
all the
Kenny.
years I've known
I'm not
him.
I'm going to
attacking
bring
him.
Kenny Chesney.
Kenny
I'm
Chesney,
not
can you come to our
attacking him.
show?
I'm gonna bring him
when
up.
he come to our show.
But I had no
He's
idea.
done nothing to you. You don't even know any of his songs.
I'm not attacking him. I said I had no idea he was bald until he took his hat off because he's got hair on the sides, and it's much like what Kevin was discussing. That
I think Tim
horseshoe
McGraw
cut.
had some work done there up there because he also was getting kind of thin, and then it's gotten kind of thicker.
I think maybe it's more normal now.
I mean,
I think
hey,
it
it's
is.
Right,
a
in
lot
Hollywood?
of
I mean,
investment in
absolutely.
time.
There's a chick that is all over Instagram and TikTok, and she does the toupees. I think she's called like Toupee Queen or something.
Yeah.
And I watch all of her videos. Why? I don't know, but it's intriguing to
fascinating.
see how these like men get transformed. Because I mean, what's the difference between a woman getting
Eyelashes and
breast
stuff.
eyelashes
augmentation.
or a wig, or
Yeah.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
boobs.
Or
And
breast
here's another thing.
augmentation, yeah.
If hair is so insecure and sensitive for men, imagine how much worse it feels for women who have thinning hair because it's not normal to see a woman have hair loss. It's one thing. It's like you can make a joke when you see like a 10-year-old in your head and say, "Oh yeah, look at your dad, kid. You got a bad future ahead of you." In your head, you might say that as a man because you're so hyper focused.
Yep.
You don't look at a girl and say, "When you're 40, your hair's going to fall out." So it's even more sensitive
It's
for
tougher for
women to
women.
have hair loss. So more power to you. Find somebody who can help you feel normal so that it's not the biggest
What's
thing
that
they
guy
look at.
on
when they
KPRC?
see
People
you.
are talking about him. He goes, "Booyah!"
Oh,
And he does
yeah.
investigative reporting. Spencer or something, or no?
Yeah, it is. It's Spencer something. I saw.
Like he does investigative reporting, and he's got like
Yeah.
cotton candy. Like you can tell he's like Trump hair. Like he's.
It does look a little
Mixing
bit
it
like
around.
that. I saw him with Owen.
mixing it around.
Owen was doing like
he
a.
does like booyah, like slamming the ice machine type stuff. Like
Yeah,
he
yeah,
goes.
But this guy does a lot of good for people.
No, I
too.
like this guy.
He
He's-
does a lot of nice
I need to
things.
get him in the studio.
Yeah.
Speaking of Trump hair, I was at Marshall's on Friday looking for something, and I did a video on my Instagram of these terrifying baby-faced Easter bunny things.
Those are creepy. When
And
Real put
people
that
were
up.
texting me and saying that first one looks like Donald Trump caricature because of the cotton candy hair. And I was thinking, the cotton candy hair, look at these terrifying bunny faces.
Those are weird looking.
These baby bunnies.
Oh,
Have
it
you
does
seen
have-
these, Sam?
Strange.
Have you
got the
seen these?
swoop
Somebody said at Christmas this is
comb-over.
a big thing, and their mothers have collections they're leaving them. Nope, it's like terrifying bunny
Yeah,
humans.
they are really scary.
That is.
It kind of looks
ugly.
like a lamb.
And I put
bunny.
scary music
Yeah,
behind
that was-
it.
is it a lamb?
One's a lamb, one's a bunny, but it's human faces, and it's not okay. It's not okay.
It's like that movie Cats. Remember when they did it with all the celebrities?
Oh yeah.
They look creepy.
and can you believe that movie was such a dud?
Yes,
I'm
you're
not
not
into
supposed to
cats.
do musicals as a movie.
But I'm not. There's a lot of musicals as a movie. Mamma Mia
Still, it
was a
doesn't-
huge hit.
I know.
Les Mis.
Les Mis.
But
is big.
with all
Sound of
those
Music.
power-hitting stars, I either you don't like. I guess that shows the nation we're all dog people. Because if
Yeah.
it was called Dogs with all those people,
Good point.
that would have been a blockbuster movie. Everybody was in it.
How-
Even Taylor Swift was in that.
I'd feel so dumb walking around in a cat outfit.
Jellicle,
Like Jason
cat.
Derulo, remember?
Cat.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he had to cover his junk
Wait, which
Ew.
one?
in Cats. Jason Derulo was a cat.
Oh,
was
that's correct.
distracted.
That's
But he's-
correct.
What he was.
He was
Packing.
very well.
Oh, wow.
Anyway,
There's another guy who wears a hat all the time.
I'm not sure. So toupees are cool
I
now.
guess
In
that's
case
a
you're just
trade-off,
joining our
Eric.
conversation,
He's thin on top, but he's well endowed.
toupees are cool now.
Oh, for two.
So there you go. There's a lot of people on social media that are bragging about how good their toupee looks. It's less about hiding your baldness now, more about owning it.
This story, I know we got a few minutes left.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes here.
Did you see the one about the bully from school? They
Probably makes more than you do
They
now.
make more money. They were doing a research.
What's their philosophy on that?
If you you go on Facebook, you look up that old bully that tormented you in school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did this study spanning 50 years,
Okay.
and they found bullies tend to earn more money than the kids they bullied. So
Really?
there goes that whole, at least that kid's going to be a loser someday.
Oh, man.
Nope, they win again.
Because they
one
ruined it.
study.
They broke their soul as
50 years.
children, and those kids could never come back and like be confident in themselves to succeed in life. Meanwhile, the bully's like, meh, meh, meh. What do we say about bullies? They don't remember your name, but you remember the first and last name of anybody ever says something crap to you. And I want to say it so bad because I was born and raised in Houston. I can't.
No, don't
I was
say
in
it.
the 4th grade.
And you know that person's
This kid, I walked by him. And when I walked by him, he said, boom, baba, because I was fat. And I hate that kid because I wanted to say, why are you saying to me, you're fatty too? Like, he was not thin. He was not a skinny kid. And this chunker made fun of me for being a chunker. Like, what
Get him
is
back.
that?
You didn't just say anything?
Walker.
Yeah, did you say something to him?
No, it was so cheap. I just kept walking. What was I going to do? It was 4th grade. I was like,
So you're 10 years old.
Aw. Sorry, Roula.
it's horrible.
And
It's
now he
horrible.
runs
'Cause
Exxon.
then
now
you
he's
keep
a big wig.
Now he works at freaking Microsoft or something, or Facebook, Meta. I don't know what he
Can we
does.
look him up real quick?
He probably owns TikTok shares.
Yeah.
What does this guy
Bitcoin,
do?
you got Bitcoin back in the day.
I should probably look him up on Facebook and see
Whisper
what
it to
did he
Eric.
turn
Mute
into.
your mic. Find out what his name is, and then we'll look him up.
Wait,
real
can I
quick.
tell you the best story
Closure?
ever? I have a bully comeback story.
want
You
him
ready?
on?
Real quick, we got 2 minutes. No, not that guy. Let me tell you this story real fast. When I was 6 years old, first time I ever even understood anybody was making fun of me, I didn't understand who was making fun of me. I was in Greek school, 1st grade. There's a table of kids all around. The kid across from me kept yelling at me like angry, like with his 2 front teeth missing. He's like, "You're a fatty Patty. You're a fatty Patty." And I was looking behind me like, who is this Patty and why is he so angry at her? Like, I did not
my
know he was talking
God.
about me. So that's always been like the little story in my family, the Fatty Patty story, because, okay, I'm an adult now. I get it. Okay, whatever. Well, fast forward years later, this guy's like a big corporate guy and he's on a plane and my sister is the flight attendant.
And she remembers him.
Of course, how do you forget? And she told the other flight attendants, that guy in seat 12C or whatever, he used to bully my sister when she was little. I called her Fatty Patty.
Spill coffee on him.
Yeah, right.
Turbulence.
If somebody came around with water, they would skip him.
They would give him food.
Like, they would start skipping him on service stuff. And so then at some point, like, he was reading the paper. Like, who reads the paper? He was reading the paper. And then my sister starts flicking his
paper?
newspaper.
Oh.
And then he was like, what? And no, it was the other flight attendant started flicking his paper. And he's like, what? He's like, that's for calling her Fatty Patty. He goes, I was 6.
He still remembers.
I was
my
6.
God.
Yes. Fatty Patty. So Fatty Patty's a
Was he ever
character
nice to
now. I
you?
can make like a children's book about her.
Was he ever nice to you after that? Or
Years later, I don't think. I remember when I ran into him when I was in my 20s. I go, that guy, President, remember he called me Fatty Patty, but I remember he did it. Because, you don't remember who you bullied.
Now he wants you.
Who was
What
the talk
happened?
show host? They had a talk show.
Oh.
They always did From Geek to Chic.
Jenny Jones?
Was it Jenny Jones?
Yep.
Where they confronted their
Because half the
bullies?
time I confront them, the bully's like, okay.
I know. There's like no closure. There's no like real like, yes, I've been vindicated. They're like,
Because they don't even
sorry.
realize that they're
All you
destroying
do
your
is-
self-esteem.
Just
Live your
Sorry.
best life.
Yes.
thanks, great.
The best
Yeah.
revenge is living well and
The
not
best
thinking
revenge
about
is
them.
growing up and being able to tell the Fatty Patty story on the radio. Yeah! Yeah!
I still love that you said looking around. Where's this Patty thing?
I will never forget looking behind me. Who is Patty and why does he hate her? Like, why is he so angry at her?